How to live a very balanced life.
I've totally sacrificed my friendships, and I've definitely sacrificed my family. And yeah, I only get 4 to 6 hours of sleep every night.
Struggles with managing your time. How to solve issues with love, life, money, or your spiritual journey.
I can't stress to you enough, it's important to live a very balanced life.
Dani is the counterweight to give you balance.
Do you find that you're not living out your life the way you want it to?
This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Thanks so much for joining us today. We know that each day we bring you some content and some discussion and some thoughts that make you maybe provoke your mind to go, I never really thought about that. But I think that today you might get a little fire under your backside and might be ignited in a direction that you haven't thought about in a while, that maybe you need to think about, that many other people are thinking about, but they ain't doing anything about it. Now you're probably wondering, Dani, what are you talking about? Did you know that 48% of Americans dream of becoming an entrepreneur? 48%. I didn't dream of becoming an entrepreneur. That's what's funny. No, I was 19. I got backed into becoming a business owner. At 19, I was introduced to, I guess, the 13%. That's all that's right now that are actually entrepreneurs. Only 13% of our country own their own business. Isn't that crazy? 13%, that is so low. That means that the majority of everybody else is working for somebody else instead of being self-employed or owning their own business or investing into their own company or companies. I'm really grateful that when I was 19, I got introduced to that whole concept. And to be quite honest with you, I was such a dummy. I was as dumb as a doornail that I didn't even know that normal people could actually have a business. I didn't. So when I first met the first set of entrepreneurs, and many of them were really, really successful, I mean, it occurred to me like, they're like normal people. You know, one guy was a waiter before he owned his own business. Another guy was a homeless beach bum, couldn't keep a job. And then there was another guy that was an engineer, and, you know, he had been an engineer for 25 years and did very well. He had 4 kids and a wife, you know, the 401k. You know what I mean? He was like, you know, you could just picture him, right? Gray slacks, maroon tie, white shirt, navy blue jacket. Do you picture it? That real analytical, you know, conservative kind of a guy. And then I can't even remember what the other guy did, but the one that was the engineer, who was an engineer for 25 years, and then he ventured out to start his own business and became incredibly, wildly successful. I happened to be in a room full of people that he was speaking to, and he had said, don't make the same mistake I did. Build equity in your own business. And I was like, that's so odd. What does that mean? I mean, that's how dumb I was. I didn't know that just normal, everyday people could actually start a business. I also didn't know that young people could start a business. I thought you had to, you know, you had to come from money. You had to go to Harvard. Oh, wait, I guess is that business school? Yeah, I think it is, and a law school. But you had to go to Harvard, and you know, you had to graduate with honors. And once you do all that, you know, you have to have the right friends in the right places, and you got to make the right contacts. And, you know, that pretty much just took me completely out of the opportunity to become an entrepreneur. I just was never going to be qualified. But there I am staring in the face of a 24-year-old guy who was waited tables before he decided to start his own business. The other guy that was a beach bum, he had started his own business. And both of these guys were somewhere in their 20s. And then, of course, the guy that was in his 40s, maybe even early 50s, that had spent 25 years in the corporate world doing very well for himself, but saying that the best thing he ever did was to try his hand at starting his own business. So I'm grateful that I got introduced to that concept so long ago, because I'm pretty sure that I would not be an entrepreneur today, no question, had I didn't learn about those kinds of things. And honestly, I failed miserably. And there's a lot of different opinions about starting a business. Many people feel like you have to have a certain type of a personality. Others feel that they don't have that kind of a personality, or they don't have that kind of experience. But through the last 25, it's actually almost 26 years that I've been an entrepreneur, I can tell you I've seen every walk of life start a business, and every age start a business. Now, is it for everybody? Well, that's for the individual to determine for themselves. Some people rather not have the stress. And then, of course, there are all those who've been sold kind of a lie that if you have your own business and you are an entrepreneur, well, then you don't. You're your own boss. My opinion is very different than that. No, you're not your own boss. I've got 40 bosses to answer to, not to mention 10,000 other ones that live across the world that we are responsible for feeding every month. If I decided to close down the doors, the fact is that there's a lot of people that wouldn't eat. So they're my boss. They keep me going. So be your own boss. That might sound sexy. It might sound enticing. But I'm telling you, it's a farce. It's an absolute farce. People who are entrepreneurs, they have bosses, their team that they work with every single day as their boss, including their clients. If an entrepreneur is producing a service out to somebody, that person buying that service determines whether or not the entrepreneur stays in business. Hello? That's the truth. So really, who is the boss? I say the customer, the client, the prospects are the boss. No question. They're the ones that determine whether or not they're going to do business with that business. And then secondary, or actually maybe primary, is the staff, the team, the employees. They are the boss. Why? Because they determine whether or not they want to do a good enough job to make sure that the clients say yes to the product or the service. So don't believe for a half second, my friend, that you can be your own boss and make your own hours and determine how much you want to make. Because, yes, there's some truth to that, but it is not entirely true according to the fantasy I used to believe. When I'm my own boss, I get to determine how much I make. Well, yeah, if my skill set stinks, well, then my income is going to stink. If I do not produce good service for the marketplace, and if I don't hit the mark, well, they go find somebody else that they're going to do business with instead of our business. So, yeah, I do determine whether or not I'm going to succeed, but that is really determined by my own decisions and by my own skill set. And by the way, your success is ran on the same exact course. Everybody's is. It doesn't matter what you do for a living, whether you're a pastor, a counselor, a business owner, or a stay-at-home parent. We determine how successful we become in life depending on what we decide to pursue. But it looks like 48% of Americans want to pursue being an entrepreneur, but it looks like only 13% of them are actually doing it. I think that's kind of sad, don't you? That there's people who really want to do something, but they're not doing it. What about you? Is there something you really want to do, but you're not doing it? What are you afraid of? What is stopping you? Have you ever had a dream of owning your own business? What is the thing that is actually stopping you from doing that? And if you had a dream to start your own business, what kind of a business do you want to start? What is rolling on your head? I'll tell you one business that I've dreamt of starting for years is a restaurant. Yeah. I've been told, gosh, for more than 20 years, oh my gosh, you should have a restaurant. I got some pretty wicked recipes. I'm telling you, last week I made tiramisu. I brought 2 pieces here in the studio, and I shared it with 2 of my friends here. Oh, yay. I haven't stopped thinking about my tiramisu. It's awful. It's awful. But just that alone, I seriously could make a batch of 2 or 3 or 4 of that, and I could sell that to some restaurants here in town. I think about things like that. I guess ever since I started on this entrepreneurial path, more entrepreneurial ideas come. But yeah, having a restaurant, I got a great idea for one. If you've ever wanted to start one, I could give you a cool twist on a great restaurant you could start. And by the way, if you're a great restaurant manager, that's all I need. All I need is someone that really understands the restaurant business. I'll be the investor. I'll give my recipes. You do the rest. We'll make a partnership. You make some money. I have some passive income. Bam. We do well with each other. Anyway, 844-200-3264. Do you have a dream to start a business? Are you afraid? What's stopping you? What kind of a business do you want to start? Call me. I want to hear about it. Who knows? Maybe I can help you get off your feet and make it happen, or maybe it's off of your backside. Phone number is 844-200-3264. Again, that's 844-200-3264. Come on, you don't want to be of the 48% of the people that say, I want to do something and don't do it. Right? Come on. What kind of excuses are you making for yourself as to why you're not starting that business? There's something that came into play, friend, when I first entered the entrepreneurial pool, if you will. And what came into play is I was kind of excited, right? You know on your smartphone, the little icon, the little smiley face icons, the one that goes, the straight with all the teeth showing, That's how I felt when I first ventured out in my first business. It was like, you're kind of excited, but is this gonna work? I still feel that way about a few things that I'm endeavoring on in my life right now. Different investments that we're making within our corporation. It's like, am I doing the right thing? Is this gonna work? Those are all very normal and natural. I'm talking to myself right now. Those are all very normal, natural feelings. On top of questioning whether or not you made the right decision, trying to look for proof that you're making the right decision, trying to look for the proof, like, is it working? Is this catching? Is it getting traction? I'm just not sure. I mean, should I have done this? Am I wasting time? Am I wasting money? Are there other things like I should be doing? In fact, I just had a conversation right before we started the show. So fresh inside of me right now. Anyway, 844-200-3264. What's your hindrance as to why you're not stepping out to become a business owner like you said you wanted to be? 844-200-3264 is that number. Again, that's 844-200-3264. Small business, my friends, is what helps to carry a nation. Fox Business reported that startups are at an all-time low, and meaning now is the perfect time to become an entrepreneur. So small business startups are an all-time low, and it's small business that help to carry our nation. So what does that mean? We're looking for you, man. We're looking for you. Yes. Small business helps the economy, also provides jobs. And actually stability, believe it or not. It supplies stability out there in the marketplace. I know this. If I had not started out on this quest that I did 26 years ago, I wouldn't have had to grow internally the way I had to. Seriously. I am pretty confident that I would be a gigantic, more of a mess than I am today. I know it. Why? Because business actually requires you to grow as a person. It does. It requires you to take steps of integrity, live a higher ethical standard. It really does. Nuh-uh, Dani. You saw those people at Enron. We can all focus on the few who got off of their track of integrity. I promise you that they got to that place having some sort of ethics, some kind of standard, some kind of skill, right? Some kind of ability of working with people. And you know what? We've all heard it. The worst thing about success is a little bit. It is, man. As soon as we get comfortable, as soon as things are going good, we're no longer hungry for it. We're just like, yeah, man, I made it. And then we start acting like an idiot. That's what happened with some of those guys. Anyway, I'm looking forward to taking your call. What's stopping you from being the entrepreneur that America is looking for? 844-200-3264. We'll continue after this.
How can you achieve your goals and change your life for the better?
Tune in, turn it up, listen.
Stay right where you are for more of the Dani Johnson Show.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Vida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here. But we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change a community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa, Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money, and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Dani sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today.
If you're a Christian who's paying too much for healthcare, you're going to love Medishare. It's a nationwide community of believers who share each other's medical bills. It's affordable. Families average around $300 a month, and it's accepted by America's largest network of health providers. Plus, the healthcare law has a special provision for Medishare members, so you're exempt from any tax penalties. But here's the best part. Medishare is based on the timeless principles found in God's Word. You never have to pay for things that go against your beliefs. Medishare is healthcare the way God meant it to be.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your healthcare. For your free information guide, call 855-90-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. Medishare, affordable biblical healthcare. Call 855-90-BIBLE. That's 855-90-BIBLE.
Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Do you want to rise for Him? Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer and shine for God? Do you think the world needs better role models? Do you want to be a star for the Most High God? Actors, models, and talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, and that is to shine for Him. So we are searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Go to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next free audition will be held. Entertainment is the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for that call? 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. That's actors, models, and talent for Christ. Register for your audition today. Dani Johnson here, and you're listening to The Dani Johnson Show with tens of thousands of people just like you. People thinking about what you think about, talking about what you talk about, and needing the same products and services you need. It's a place where like-minded consumers gather, savvy business owners, marketing directors, and responsive individuals making significant buying decisions. From consumer home goods and services to business products, people just like you needing the same things you need. They shouldn't be buying your product and service or doing business with your company. I'd love to help. To find out how to advertise on this show, email info@intelerep.com. That's info@INTELEREP.com. Or call 251-928-9400. That's info@intelerep.com or 251-928-9400.
Now, more of the Dani Johnson Show.
Dani, who in the world would start a business in this economy? Me. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at myself. Me and other entrepreneurs who already have started a business in this economy. Seriously. When I was homeless, it was during the time of the Gulf War. The Gulf War had just been announced. I was living in Hawaii. I was homeless with $35,000 in debt, $2.03 to my name. Okay, my husband, my dream man, my fantasy, Mr. Prince Charming, had cheated on me for the second time. Awesome. I felt so good about myself. Not. So he's off and living with another woman in Japan. I have no way of finding him to pay our bills. Yeah, no. I had no other option. I was working as a cocktail waitress, making $1,500 a month. Working 12-hour shifts, 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. I'm homeless, and I'm like, it's going to take a really long time for me to get into an apartment at this rate. Right? You got first month's rent, last month's rent, plus a deposit, and Hawaii was very expensive. And I was not looking at some nice apartment to be living in. I was looking at a dump. And it was $1,500 a month to live in a dump in Hawaii. And this is 24 years ago this December. can't imagine what it is today. So there I was. I started scratching my head going, what am I going to do? The Gulf War had just been announced, and the hotels, okay, in the little town of 5,000 where I lived, their economy was based on tourism, solely on tourism. And the Hyatt and the Hilton and the Royal Waikoloan, all of these hotels went from a 90% occupancy rate to cancellation after cancellation after cancellation to a 33% occupancy rate. People jumped on planes and flew home, cut off their vacation, and those who hadn't come yet canceled their vacation during the month of December, which is the busiest month of the year in that area. And I started a business. Everybody in my little town was losing their jobs. Was that the right time to start a business or the wrong time to start a business? It doesn't matter. What time? Do something. Do something. If it is nagging on your heart, and it doesn't nag on everybody's heart, that's what you need to understand. Not everybody wants to be a business owner. Not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. There is a great benefit of being able to show up into a place of business, put in excellence and diligence for 8 solid hours, collect the income, work your way up through the ranks, make wise investments on the side, and not bring home the pressure or the stress of the business. Or that when somebody decides to quit or have a baby or have a wild hair go through their head, those kinds of things affect the business and the business owner. Or, people in high places making decisions like, an administration of a government or something who decides to overtax small businesses, change laws midstream that choke out the small business owner. Those are all real issues. What about taxes that have to be paid? Oh, you see, that's right now. Wonderful. 100-page document of tax returns that you have to look through. So much fun. And you don't know anything about taxes, right? Not everybody wants to do that. Not everybody does. But if you are that person that you say, no, I want to take that on. I want to own my own business. I've always been entrepreneurial, Dani. Then why aren't you in business today? What is stopping you? Is now the wrong time? No. When was the wrong time for me to start a business? I don't know. The time that I started it was the right time to start it, even though all around me appeared to be the wrong time. People were going out of business. And so you cannot allow the outside circumstances to determine whether or not you're going to be successful in your business. You have to make a decision. Am I going to do this or not? Am I going to push through this or not? Am I going to make it? That's determined by myself and only myself. And that is the truth. No, it's determined. No, it's not, I promise, because whatever it is that you don't know is what will cause you to fail. Which means that you can learn new things so that you can succeed. What I've had to do for years is look at the stress points that are in business as an entrepreneur and learn how to bypass them, disarm them, or prevent them. And sometimes it costs more money to prevent some of those things. And sometimes you have to make that decision. Just like the decision that I made 18 and a half years ago that working 100 hours a week was no longer acceptable and I wouldn't do it anymore. But I cut my hours down to 20, sold off a company, and decided to live a life instead of spending my life chasing money. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Hey, have you done a favor for your best friend yet? Then do it now. Share this program with them. The Dani Johnson Show, helping people just like you make life more enjoyable and rewarding. The Dani Johnson Show.
Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money, and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Danny sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today.
Are you a talented actor, model, singer, or dancer? Have you held back because you don't know where to start or who to trust? What if your time was now? Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. Go to amtcaudition.org for a list of cities and dates. AMTC is a nonprofit ministry with a mission to find, prepare, and launch God's talent. The entertainment industry is the most influential mission field in the world. Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ. amtcaudition.org.
Helping you get a grip on your priorities and your focus. The Dani Johnson Show. Here's Dani Johnson.
6 in 10 business owners say that it's harder today to run a business only because of the economy. That's 6 out of 10. But they face the challenges of new technology and, of course, an increased competition with global economy. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean that you just sit there and whine and cry about now there's a global economy and now there's all this technology and man, it's harder today to build a business? Because on the other side of the coin, my friend, there's somebody else saying, my gosh, it's so much easier to build a business today because of technology and because of a global economy. It's all on how you look at it. And the bottom line is this. Out of all of the people, 13% of the people who actually have a business, out of those, at the end of the day, the 98% and 2% numbers are still real. 98% will either be dead or dead broke at the age of 65, depending on family, friends, and federal government. And 2% will be successful and financially independent. See, right there, if 6 in 10 are saying it's harder, they're not looking at the other side of the coin saying, wait a second, how do I use this technology and global economy for my benefit? Because I promise you, I have found that it's easier to build business today than it was 25, 26 years ago when I first started in business. But enough about my business experience. What about yours? What is the greatest challenge you're facing in business today? Or if you are that person, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a business owner, what is stopping you from actually doing that? This is Dani Johnson, 844-200-3264. Today, the topics, we're talking about business. And by the way, if you're a stay-at-home parent and you're watching or listening to the show, you might want to have your kids who are being homeschooled listen to the show because you might have a little budding entrepreneur in your house. And you better make sure that someone's going to train that one up. Don't stop them. Let them dream and let them go after it. Let them sell something. It's in their blood. They're supposed to own a business someday and provide jobs for other people. Something our president still doesn't know how to do. Anyway, we have Stephen from New Jersey. Stephen from New Jersey, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much, Dani. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Nice talking to you, too.
My greatest challenge was what I had been told about myself for 30 years, and I wrote a novel working as a catharsis working through that. I started an LLC and my own publishing company. We released the novel as 3 separate books on Amazon, 3 books in a month and a half, and 2 of them hit bestseller. The greatest challenge I have now as a new author is once I'd saturated the market for that friends and friends of friends circuit, how to reach an audience, because as you know, readers are very discriminating, and how to reach those readers that don't know anything about you yet.
Yeah. Well, number one, congratulations on writing your first book. Congratulations on the success that you had on Amazon. And congratulations for using what you had available to you, and that was your friends and family members and friends of friends. Now you're at that place of, now how do I collect an audience to read my book? And that is a forever thing to learn how to do. It really is. And just like, for example, Stephen, the same passion and fervor you hit the market when you went to release the book. And by the way, I have to also commend you on another thing. Most people who want to write books don't have a clue on the fact that they're going to have to sell the book. That is always a big like, huh? You mean I write the book and then I have to sell it? Yeah, and if you don't have plans of selling that book, don't even get started in writing it. because the book business is a business, and business requires...
That was a huge learning curve.
Yeah. Business requires marketing. It's the same for all of the arts, actually. It's the same for the singers and the songwriters. It's the same for art. It's, you know, the artistic people that want to paint paintings, and they just think that I'm going to paint this thing, and then someone's going to fall out of the sky and buy it. No. No. If there is a thing to learn, it's marketing. You've got to get good at marketing. Otherwise, there is no business. And being an author is marketing. That's all it is. So what we see today with the best-selling authors, for example, the ones that get $1 million, signing to write books, those guys already have an audience. They already have a marketing channel. In most cases, they have a marketing channel already set up, and the publisher knows that they're going to already sell just to their own audience a certain number of books, which is why does the publisher want to talk to them? It's very simple, because the publisher now is going to dip into somebody else's audience that they normally would not have access to. All right. So if you take a big name somebody, well, you can take a big name just anybody. Pastors especially, man. These pastors of mega churches, how do they become these national bestsellers on the New York Times? Because they have 50,000 people that are going to buy a book the minute that it comes out. They prep that market just how you did on Amazon. And so, yes, moving forward, let's talk about that. I'd be studying anything you can concerning marketing, and specifically marketing books. I'd be looking at social media. People like to buy books off of social media. That's a place where they hear about books. You should have your own Facebook page, and on that Facebook page, you should be grabbing quotes from your book and posting it, as well as other quotes. Feed the social media machine what the social media machine wants. They want content. They want encouragement. They want tips. They like pictures. They like to be inspired. So you give the social media monster what the monster wants. And you start to build an audience through social media places. You start building an audience through tapping into other people's audiences. This is where maybe knocking on some doors for radio or television and even some internet type venues, podcasts, where you can get interviews for your book. And even when you go to get interviews for your book, friend, you have to know how to interview. And you have to know how to pitch your book without sounding like you're pitching a book to get people to want to go to a website. And the thing I'm going to tell you, Stephen, more than anything, that the hardcore revelation about books is books are lead generators. Very, 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 very few get paid $1 million to write books. Very few. Books are lead generators. And so you got to have some kind of a back end way of building a database that as you continue to write books, you're able to market those books to that database. So I hope that helps a little bit, but I'd be studying marketing really quickly. I would be looking at how other books are marketed. I'd be knocking on doors into bookstores, trying to get book signings or even make friends with the manager of those bookstores. I'd be knocking on doors on radio stations and television stations, getting interviews so that, again, you're getting exposure. And that's number one with marketing. You've got to get exposure. We know where they can buy the book, which is, as you said, Amazon.com. So there you go. It's time to get a business education. And congratulations on your success that you've had so far, but I'd start hitting the market as hard as you possibly can and getting that book out there. There's lots more I could say about it, but that's it that we're going to go through right now. So thanks so much, Stephen, for being here. And by the way, if you're a first-time listener to the Dani Johnson Show, I would love to give you a copy of our book, which is going to tell you how to market your book or your product or your service. First Steps to Wealth is the name of the book. It's exactly how I started from a grassroots movement of building businesses to the tune of thousands and tens of thousands of clients that today are all over the globe to the tune of hundreds of thousands. This is called First Steps to Wealth. So, Stephen, I'd love to give it to you as a congratulations to your new success. And this is going to help you create a groundswell of organic traffic as well as referrals, as well as how to advertise in different places. Again, that's First Steps to Wealth. Write down the phone number, and I'll get you the copy right away. It's 844-200-3264. Again, that's 844-200-3264. And let us know. Actually, so sorry. Let me give you a better direct phone number. That was stupid. 866-760-8255. Again, that's 866 866-760-8255. Either number will work, but if you want someone live right now to pick up that phone about getting you the book, 866-760-8255. If you want a physical copy of it, then you pay the shipping and we'll send you the $15 book. But if you don't want a physical copy, you can just download the ebook form of this 290-page book. Again, tip by tip, chapter by chapter on how you will be able to market your dream, that novel that you wrote, and do it very, very effectively, and do it on nothing, like no advertising budget. We show you how to do that inside of this book. Again, that's First Steps to Wealth. Ebook is free. If you want the physical copy, you pay the shipping and we'll send you the book. So, Stephen, continued success. Congratulations on venturing off on the road of being an entrepreneur by having a new publishing company. So anyway, thanks so much for being here. Okay, so again, we're taking your call concerning, what are the hindrances you have for starting a business? Are you one of the 13% that's waffling, going, I don't know if I should have started that business? How do I build it? You know, just like what Stephen was saying, you know, he learned very quickly. Writing a book wasn't just the beginning of it. You have to sell the book. You have to market the book. 844-200-3264. Again, that's 844-200-3264. What's your excuse, friend, for not having a business? If you've got that desire inside of you, it's time to step up and do something about it. It's time to get over those lame excuses. It's time to stop looking at, I don't know if the economy is good for me to, and I don't know about, what's my wife gonna say? Hello. Joe. It's time to get busy, because this entrepreneurial nag is going to nag you for the rest of your life until you venture out and go for it. We'll continue with more of the Dani Johnson Show right after this.
Don't just stand there. Soak this up. It's joy, it's encouragement, it's insight to a better life and how to meet your obligations and overcome obstacles. The Dani Johnson Show. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Do you want to rise for Him? Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer and shine for God? Do you think the world needs better role models? Do you want to be a star for the Most High God? Actors, models, and talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, and that is to shine for Him. So we are searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Go to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next free audition will be held. Entertainment is the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for that call? 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. That's actors, models, and talent for Christ. Register for your audition today.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Vida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here. But we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change a community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa, Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
Get ready to live the uncommon life. Here's Dani Johnson.
13% of our nation are entrepreneurs. 48% want to be. Big gap, don't you think? It's a big difference from where our country started from. Mostly everybody was an entrepreneur when this country first was founded. Is no longer. That's quite obvious. And we can also see it in the difference of the mindset, the difference of leadership. Interestingly enough, Fox Business writer David Malak said, despite all the challenges small businesses have faced in the last 5 years, 7 out of 10 entrepreneurs say that they would start their business all over again. You have to ask yourself why. Why would they do that? Even though they have faced challenges. Well, first of all, have you faced challenges at your job? Of course you have. Have you faced challenges in your marriage? Duh. What about with your toddlers or your teens? What about the midnight feedings? Of course. Anything in life worth working towards succeeding in or having is going to have challenges. We're kind of stupid if we think that there's a path and a road in life that we can pick that has no challenges. Every road has challenges. But it's interesting. So why? What are the benefits, these 7 out of 10 entrepreneurs that say they would start their business all over again, even though they had all kinds of challenges? What are those challenges that businesses are facing today? 844-200-3264 is our number. Again, that's 844-200-3264. We're going to line 1. We've got Caitlin from Utah. Caitlin, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, thank you. I think for myself, something that I've learned in terms of being a small business owner is that the skills that I've learned through just being an owner they've been able to apply to all types of areas of my life.
Yeah.
Just the different skills that I've acquired. And one particularly is I'm in the entertainment industry. And so being in this industry, a lot of artists think it's only about the art.
Yep.
But most of it actually is about the business. And so a lot of the opportunities that I've had lately have been because I've looked at it from a business standpoint, a little bit more than just an artistic standpoint.
Yep.
And I've noticed that it's probably shaved off about like 3 to 5 years of struggle that a lot of artists have. That's probably shaved off about 3 to 5 years just for myself personally.
Yep.
Just looking at it from a business standpoint, because that's what I've learned over the last, like 4 to 5 years of my life.
Wow.
So I think for myself, that's why I love being a business owner, is because not only can you use it in all areas of your life, but you're constantly growing and learning because you have to.
You have to, because if you don't, you're out of business.
Right.
It is. You're totally out of business. Now, hey, I'm really proud of you, Caitlin, because I have many clients in the entertainment world. And so many of them have the hardest time crossing the bridge of understanding that entertainment is nothing but business. It's about selling the tickets to the show, selling the albums, selling the pieces of art. If you're a model, you're selling your look, you're selling yourself. If you're an actress, you're selling yourself. If you're a director, you're selling movies. If you're a screenplay writer, you're selling the script. Everything boils down to sales, but so many people in the entertainment world who are venturing out in that world, they don't have that understanding. Now, Caitlin, by chance, is this your first time on the Dani Johnson Show or listening to the show?
I'm sorry, what did you ask me? My phone cut out.
Is this your first time listening in on the Dani Johnson Show?
Oh, no, I've listened for a little bit over a year now, and I've been to a couple of the first steps to success.
That's awesome. Well, good. Then you know about business. But the reason why I was asking is, I don't know if you caught the Kevin Sorbo interview. Kevin Sorbo is an actor. And I interviewed him for 2 hours on one of his recent movies, God's Not Dead. And it was such a good interview, man. And I was sitting there going, because I'm an entrepreneur, and he was speaking all business, all entrepreneur. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just want every single one of my clients to listen to this interview. So Caitlin, if you haven't heard it yet, go and find it in our archives on DaniJohnson.com, because he's a very successful actor and a businessman who's very influential, and he actually has a huge international following and has had this huge international following for more than 20 years. And Kevin Sorbo really laid it out, because I really dug in and asked him some questions that later he said to me, no one's ever asked me those questions before, Dani. He goes, that was fun. No one's ever asked me those kinds of questions. And what it was is about what did it actually take for him to build his acting career? What did that actually take? And everything he was describing was sales. It was all sales. He needed to pitch himself to the people that were going to make the decisions for the commercials or the television shows or the movies that he was trying out for. He got rejected countless times and times and times again. Over and over, thousands of times he said that he got rejected. And he said, and he began to turn the rejection actually into fuel for himself. No longer fearing rejection, but using that as fuel, using that fire that could bury him. Now it's a flame and a fire that gives him more energy and more reason to go out and succeed. And so I encourage you to listen to his interview, because it was a very, very powerful interview. Since you come from the same line of work that he does in the entertainment world, and you now have the business understanding and you see it as a business perspective, that also helps you to pitch whoever you're pitching. Because in business, we have to pitch something in such a way that it's actually first more beneficial to the person we're selling it to than it is to us. We can't lead with what we want. If we're going to be successful in business, we have to lead with what the market wants. We have to discover what that prospect wants that's right in front of us, and we need to give it to them. And now we've created a win-win working situation between us and the person that we're trying to pitch. And in your case, you're pitching entertainment. So I love it. I'm so excited for you because you have the right mindset. And you're right. You shaved off 5 years of a learning curve by simply seeing your artistic gifting in the entertainment world as straight up business. So therefore, you can talk to those people as they are thinking. They're thinking business. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking dollars and cents. Is this going to sell? Is this going to work? How can we make it work? So that's the bottom line. I'm proud of you, girl. You got some wisdom inside of you. I think that's pretty awesome. I really do. Hey, I got one more question for you, Caitlin. As somebody in the entertainment world, you said that you feel that what you've had to learn and learning about business has shaved off 5 years. Give me one thing that you've had to learn that helped you to shave off those 5 years of a learning curve.
Oh, one thing. It would probably be overall communication, because communication branches into, networking and understanding where people are coming from and what it is that they want. Yep. So just basic communication skills of talking to them in terms of what they need is what I've learned the most. Yep.
That's huge. That's at the end of the day, that's the thing that decides whether or not the job is taken. That really is it. Let's imagine that there's a tap dancer, right? Or a hip hop dancer. Well, you're not going through the grocery store doing your hip hop dancing. You know what I mean? But you're auditioning everywhere you go. You're even auditioning at the grocery store. That's the facts. You're even auditioning at the grocery store. What do I mean by that? Because you're meeting people and you're networking with people and you're giving the awareness of what you do and also looking for how you can help them get done what they need to get done. There's a little tip for you. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
No excuses, no blaming, just real life. Stay tuned for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
With all the changes happening in healthcare, Christians want to know, is there any option that's God-honoring, affordable, and acceptable under the law? The answer is Medishare. It's not insurance. It's a nationwide community of believers who share each other's medical bills. Unlike individual insurance plans, which are now required to cover the morning after pill, your healthcare dollars never pay for things that go against your beliefs. There's no enrollment period, so you could sign up anytime. You choose your doctors from America's largest provider network. And yes, it's affordable. Family options average around $300 a month. Medishare is healthcare Christians can believe in.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your healthcare. For your free information guide, call 855-90-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. Medishare, affordable biblical healthcare. Call 855-90-BIBLE. That's 855-90-BIBLE.
You tell yourself that life isn't that bad. You relish the small pleasures. Drive-through coffee, big screen TV, vacations bought on credit cards. But that's as good as life gets unless you take a leap of faith. This is millionaire author, radio and television show host Dani Johnson, inviting you to join me for 2 days where you will acquire the skills to make the life you crave a reality. Call now 844-200-DANI or visit firststepstosuccess.com.
The Dani Johnson Show is here to help you.
We want to see your economy thrive.
Helping you focus and set your priorities.
And you can do this by learning the skill sets, the strategies, and the mindsets of 2% of the population.
The Dani Johnson Show. Listen closely.
What are your weaknesses? What are your greatest strengths? And what are your weaknesses?
Learn how to make the most out of your strengths in this life and how to grow in the direction that is best for you and your family. This is The Dani Johnson Show.
This is Dani Johnson. Welcome to Hour 2 of The Dani Johnson Show. We're talking about entrepreneurship. Do you want to become an entrepreneur? Do you want to be a business owner, but you're afraid? You don't know what's stopping you? 844-200-3264. Again, that's 844-200-3264. We're talking about getting over that hump and what are the benefits for having your own business. Now, I know you might be saying, well, I don't want to be a business owner. Well, that doesn't mean other people don't want to be. But if you are one of those people that's been nagging at you for a really long time, but you're not stepping out to do it, friend, I hope that today's program makes you get off your backside, put some fire underneath it, and go get busy already. Here's one thing I know. If that thing is talking to you, you know what I'm talking about. It's that voice inside of you saying, oh, you know, you can start a business with that and you can start a business with that, but you're not doing it. It's going to nag you forever. So you might as well give in and you might as well go get it done. There's some great benefits to having your own business. And there's also some great stresses to having your own business. There's two sides to every coin, right? Being your own boss isn't all what it's cracked up to be. I don't see that I'm my own boss and that I haven't been my own boss for the last 26 years. I have lots of bosses, people that I'm responsible to. I'm responsible to succeed so that our team is able to provide for their families and that we're able to provide for the 10,000 orphans that we're taking care of every month, or including the village that we made a commitment to, that after an earthquake hit and destroyed this entire village where 2,000 people live now, meaning there's 2,000 people left. There were more before the earthquake. You know, we made a commitment. When I went down and I saw this sweet, precious grandma, you know, who her husband died in the earthquake, her children, her grandchildren died in the earthquake. She was the only survivor of her family unit. And here she is literally squatting on somebody else's little point of land between two people's pieces of property. And she literally had built for her, not a home, not even a tent, friends, but it's banana leaves that are side by side each other. And that's what she sleeps in every day. You know, when I see that, and this is a woman that, you know, is 10 or 15 years older than I am, thinking, that's not how it should be. Or someone like Fida, who has 9 children. I've only got 5, but she can't feed her 9. And the water that they're digging out of a ditch every day is going to kill them. It's filled with disease. So we made a commitment as business owners. What can we do to help? How can we fix this? How can we get them self-sustained? One is we're bringing in 2 brand new water supplies that is going to nurse them with clean, pure, fresh water every single day for the rest of their lives. We're bringing in a sugar plant to provide 200 jobs, and we're going to build 65 brand new homes. 65 brand new homes for these families. That is going to help them. That's going to change the next generation for them. And so as an entrepreneur, am I my own boss? No. That family, Fida and her 9 children, are my boss. Why? Because it's really easy to retire. It's really easy to say, forget it, man. Forget about the taxes and the Obamacare that's cost us 6 figures more than it did last year. You know, forget about dealing with all the stuff that happens internally and externally. And oh my gosh, I just want to take a break and I want to live the rest of my life, you know, on a cliff in Nicaragua or off in Bora Bora. It'd be so easy to do that, but I have these bosses. Yeah. I'm my own boss? No. I am subject to other people. So if you think that being your own boss sounds like a good idea, well, it can be a good idea. But what's most important is that as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, you can't just think of yourself. Your life is tied to a whole lot of other people's lives. And you have to be thinking more about them than you do about you. But I got to tell you about this young lady, Alana Gray. She's 14. She writes, she says, I'm 14 years old, and prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, I was messed up, disrespectful, suicidal, who didn't like people, had horrible relationships at home, and thought my parents as my personal ATM machine. After plugging into First Steps to Success, I learned how to successfully communicate with people, have strong, healthy relationships with my family and people around me, and I also started 2 businesses that have generated over $8,000. I almost give to orphans. I also give to orphans every single month. That's a 14-year-old entrepreneur. What's your excuse? If you can't find a job, quit whining about it. Maybe you're supposed to start a business. All right, we've got Jamie on the line, 2 from Florida. Jamie, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dani.
Hi.
My husband and I dream of starting a business together. We have the idea, we've prayed about it, but when we try to figure out how to start it, we are paralyzed with all the information out there and how to actually start it. What is the first step?
Okay, do you have a product or a service? Do you have, or an idea that you're trying to market?
Yes, web application development.
Okay. All right, so you guys have the skill set with web application development, right? So you want to offer a service out to the marketplace of helping to build people's...
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you already have your service. Do you already have your website?
No. I know. And that's the first step.
It kind of makes sense to have a website. Yeah, that'd be something I'd be wearing. And it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be sexy or slick. Let it be simple and basic, and make sure that it communicates clearly what you do. Okay? That's it. Let it communicate clearly what you're offering. Don't be sexy. Don't be crazy. Just be simple. Okay? So in all reality, you don't even necessarily need the website. You have a service. Now you just need the people. So go get the people. And go start talking to people. And who should you talk to? Okay, here's the basics of business. It's marketing something to someone. That's all. It's really simple. Marketing something to someone. You have the something. It's web development applications, right? That's what you have, the something.
Right.
Now you go find the someone. Well, let me ask you a question. Let's just say that you had this great idea and you were going to start this amazing restaurant because Florida needs another one, right? Not.
Right.
But let's just say that you did, and you went to the bank and you got a $100,000 loan to start that. And with that $100,000, what would be some of the things that you needed to purchase to have a restaurant? Tablecloths, equipment, freezers, menus, logos. You need the stove. You can't cook without the stove. You kind of need an oven. You can't really make any food without one of them. You know what I mean? You need some cutting boards. You need some good knives. You understand what I'm saying? $100,000, you spend it all on just getting the thing set up. The doors open. Ta-da! It's the grand opening. How are you going to let people know you're totally out of money? How are you going to let people know about your restaurant?
Oh, Facebook. Social media.
That's another place. And
your
then
website.
What? But your website just floats up in the air. People have to find it. You're actually complicating this. You're really complicating this. All right, so let's say you make a post on Facebook. Come and see us.
Yeah.
That might be a little slow.
Yeah.
Who would you contact to let them know that you started a business?
I don't know. I'm really good at overcomplicating things.
Yeah, I think you are. I'm going to agree with you. Would you let your mom know?
Oh, yes.
Oh! Yes. Your dad?
All our family.
Oh! People overlook the easiest things. You would have to start with a list of resources if you had no money to be advertising anywhere. You wouldn't just open the doors and hope it succeeds. Okay. Businesses fail with that kind of a mindset. No, you would have to get the word out. And who do you get the word out to? Your friends and your family members, your old coworkers. You make a contact list of every single person you've ever worked with, every person you've ever lived with, slept with. I'm sorry, Jamie. Every person that you partied with back in those bad days, unless you're still doing that. People you go to church with, because now we're a good girl. And you know what I'm saying? People you went to school with, to college, to grammar school with. You just pick out every name and face that you can remember out of the big black hole called your head. Put it down on paper or in a database. Start, putting it in an Excel spreadsheet or whatever. You don't even have to do that. But just start writing them out. I have this tool actually on our website. It's called a script book. In the back of the script book, it has this thing that we call a memory jogger, and it has 280 or 254 different professions of people that you would know. And who do I know that's a plumber? Duh. And you write that person's name down. And in this script book, it actually has scripts to initiate a conversation to invite them to the new restaurant. And in the conversation, the communication, you're going to find out what they're doing right now, how they're doing, what they're doing with their job. Gee, they work for a company. They might need some web development. I don't know. Right. They might need some web applications. People tend to go for advertising first, not even realizing that they have all kinds of free advertising within every single relationship that they've built over time. And then, of course, there is that lame excuse of, but I haven't talked to that guy in 20 years. Great. This is simple. Yeah. Hey, Jeannie, how's it going, man? I haven't talked to you in 20 years. How are you? What you been up to? Hello. And by the way, that script is in the script book. I haven't talked to the person in a really long time. What do you say to the guy? It's already scripted out. It's a simple little paragraph that begins that initial conversation. You find out what he's got going on, what he's doing. You'll find that there might be a need there, or that he might have a need that you could fill with a friend of yours that's a real estate agent. I'm trying to look into real estate. I'm living in such and such area. Wow, Jamie, let me call my friend that actually is in the same area, and I'll see if I can get you a referral. You scratch his back, he'll want to scratch yours. That's business. Okay. So at the basics. So you have a skill set, now go market it. Who do you market to? Make a list. You should at least come up with 2,000 names. You're over 20 years old, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Social scientists say we know 2,000 people by the time we are 20 years old. So come up with a list. Okay. And that list is golden, baby. And let me tell you something about that list. There are marketers and businesses that pay thousands and hundreds of thousands to get a hold of your list. They're all trying to get at everyone you know, and they don't know who they are, which is so awesome. You know them, and you already have trust established with them, even if you haven't talked to them in 20 years. Okay? That's where I'd be starting, baby. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more about being an entrepreneur right after this.
No matter what you think, feel, or imagine, if you want to make things right in your own life, you have to focus and believe. Stay tuned for helpful advice on life and more on The Dani Johnson Show.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Vida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here, but we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change a community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa, Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Do you want to rise for Him? Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer and shine for God? Do you think the world needs better role models? Do you want to be a star for the Most High God? Actors, models, and talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, and that is to shine for Him. So we are searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Go to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next free audition will be held. Entertainment is the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for that call? 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. That's actors, models, and talent for Christ. Register for your audition today. Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money, and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Danny sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today.
If you're a Christian who's paying too much for healthcare, you're going to love Medishare. It's a nationwide community of believers who share each other's medical bills. It's affordable. Families average around $300 a month, and it's accepted by America's largest network of health providers. Plus, the healthcare law has a special provision for Medishare members, so you're exempt from any tax penalties. But here's the best part. Medishare is based on the timeless principles found in God's Word. You never have to pay for things that go against your beliefs. Medishare is healthcare the way God meant it to be.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your healthcare. For your free information guide, call 855-90-BIBLE. Not available in Montana. Medishare, affordable biblical healthcare. Call 855-90-BIBLE. That's 855-90-BIBLE.
Dani Johnson here, and you're listening to the Dani Johnson Show with tens of thousands of people just like you. People thinking about what you think about, talking about what you talk about, and needing the same products and services you need. It's a place where like-minded consumers gather, savvy business owners, marketing directors, and responsive individuals making significant buying decisions. From consumer home goods and services to business products, people just like you needing the same things you need. They shouldn't be buying your product and service or doing business with your company. I'd love to help. To find out how to advertise on this show, email info@intelerep.com. That's INFO at INTELEREP.com, or call 251-928-9400. That's info@intelerep.com or 251-928-9400.
Helping you get a grip on your priorities and your focus. The Dani Johnson Show. Here's Dani Johnson.
Dani, starting a business could be so hard. It's just way too hard. I don't even know where to begin. Listen. There's something really powerful about being desperate, and that is that you can't overthink anything, and you can't be complicated. You have to look for the quickest possible solution. So I know I'm living proof, my friend, that starting a business is not way too hard. It's just as hard as getting a job. No, it's way more complicated than that. You know what? It's as complicated as you decide to make it. It really is. As complicated as you decide to make it. I was a homeless woman. I didn't have anything to market. I found something to market. It was right in my back seat. I didn't even like it, but I knew that other people were looking for it. And so I called and I got a licensing deal with the manufacturer. I found out a way to license somebody else's existing product that already had international success, and I connected the product with the people. The people in my local area, they had not known anything about that product, but I began to talk to people in that local area about something that they could use. I did it enough to make $2,000 profit my first 4 days. That was amazing.
And then the next 30 days, I worked a total of 30 hours and I made $6,540. Doing what? Connecting a product with the people. That's it. Simplicity. That's not hard. Everything is as hard as you make it. That same business, by the way, I made $250,000 my first year. My second year, my first million was made. That all happened by the time I was 23. Business, if it was really complicated, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm not smart enough for that. But I know how to keep things simple. Oh, I'm talking to myself right now. Keep it simple. I know you've heard that before. All right, so we're taking your call concerning either you want to share the benefits that you've discovered about having your own business, or you want to ask some questions about how do I do that? Yes, I want to start a business, but I don't know where to start. What do I do? 844-200-3264. Again, that's 844-200-3264. Casey from Orlando, Florida area, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
It's Dani Johnson. Hey. How you doing? Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
My greatest challenge, I'm so glad I found you after 18 years of trying to be a successful small business owner. And so glad I found you to kind of bring everything together for me. The benefits, I want to talk about the greatest challenge because the benefits we could, be another 2 hours with the benefits of being a small business owner. But the challenges probably would take 2 hours too. But my greatest challenge with being a small business owner would have to be being consistent.
Yeah.
And not just being consistent, but consistently doing the things that add to my bottom line, that add income to my pocket. Because we can face it, we can be really busy doing things that aren't really productive.
That's right.
If you can get that.
No, that's absolutely true.
Just busy working.
It is. It's absolutely true.
That we think is productive, but it's not.
Yeah. And the bottom line is as a small business owner, we have to look at what our activities are each day. I just finished a session called Nuclear Coaching, and it was 8 weeks, meaning 8 different sessions with a small elite group of people, half of which were business owners, the other half were not. And one of the activities that we had them do going through this coaching series, and it took about 3 months for us to get through those 8 sessions, was an activity log, keeping a log of the activities in which they were doing on a day-to-day basis. You see, it's not just small business owners that have a hard time being consistent on the activities that help to bring in the sales. Lots of people in every job have that problem. It's really wild. And it's why businesses don't grow and why they don't succeed is because everybody's focused on things they should not be focused on instead of how many customers did we bring in today? How many people did we drive to the website today? How many conversions? How many presentations did we do today? So an activity log is something that can be really beneficial, that if every day you are logging what you're doing, where is your time going? And you will see, where it's going, and how much is it making you? Or how much is it costing you? And so you got to ask yourself as a small business owner every day, is the activity I'm working on, the problem that I'm solving today going to result in revenue? Because if it's not resulting in revenue, there is a problem. And that should be the number one primary focus of a business owner, is that 80% of that business's job every day is bringing in new business through the door or through the website or whatever the medium is. 80% of the time has to be spent on getting new business or you will be out of business. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Good people bring out the good in people. And you're sharing great moments with thousands of good people right now. There's more of the Dani Johnson Show coming up. Stay here.
Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money, and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Danny sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today.
Are you a talented actor, model, singer, or dancer? Have you held back because you don't know where to start or who to trust? What if your time was now? Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. Go to amtcaudition.org for a list of cities and dates. AMTC is a nonprofit ministry with a mission to find, prepare, and launch God's talent. The entertainment industry is the most influential mission field in the world. Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ. amtcaudition.org.
Improving the quality of your life. The Dani Johnson Show.
I love it.
Earlier, I was talking to you about being your own boss and kind of the fallacy of that. I've been an entrepreneur for 26 years. And as I've said throughout today's show, is that I don't see myself as my own boss. My life is not my own. My life is connected to other people's lives, and I'm responsible to honoring the commitments in which I've made to people, even when I feel like quitting. Even when I feel like I'm done, I'm tired, it's over, it's not worth it. Even when I reach those places, I have to push through to get on the other side, because there's people whose destiny is tied to my decisions and won't reach their destiny if I quit. If I decide it's not worth it, if I decide it's too hard. It's not fair to the people who've made commitments that are around me, or the ones that I've made commitments to, just like the people I was talking about earlier in Haiti. Kadwa, Haiti, right? Imagine 9 children, right? They're looking up at you. They don't have food. They're your children. You don't have a way to provide for them. Remember earlier I was telling you that we're building 2 water supplies, a sugar plant that will provide 200 jobs and 60 new homes. What I forgot to tell you is how you can participate with that project. As a business owner, I've decided to use our business as an opportunity to help those who are truly in need, to use what we do purposefully instead of just making money. And for what? For cars and houses and junk that just burn and need maintenance or rust? Why not use the money we generate as a business owner to help transform entire villages that have been completely demolished by an earthquake? Well, too bad, so sad for them. Well, listen, yeah, it'd be too bad, so sad for you if the earthquake hit you, buddy. I want to make sure that I do good with what I have received, what's been entrusted and given to me. I want to make sure that we pass on to somebody else. I challenge you as a business owner. Why don't you lead with that same kind of mindset? Add some purpose to the money that you're making as a business person. Add some dignity to what you're doing. Because not everybody cares about houses and cars and junk. And I guarantee you most of your team could care less about the big house you're living in. They could care less about your lifestyle. But boy, they sure could care for this grandmother who isn't even living in a tent. She's living under some bushes because her whole family was killed in an earthquake. If you would like to participate, I challenge you now. Go to kingsransom.org. Again, that's kingsransom.org. Kadwa, Haiti is the village that's being transformed right now as we speak. Construction has already begun. And these people some of them have already moved into their brand new homes. You can help build more homes, more water supplies, and provide more jobs and transform an entire village. You know, I know you've heard this before. We reap what we've sown. We do. You help somebody else's dream come true, you're going to watch yours come true too. Call King's Ransom. Their phone number is on the website, kingsransom.org. Kingsransom.org, Kadwa, Haiti. So we're talking about business. I just wanted to give that challenge out there about those who are entrepreneurs or want to be one. Part of the reason why we started one of the businesses that we did 11 years ago, which was DaniJohnson.com, was so that we could give more. That's why we started it. Was so that we could give more. We had a heart to take care of the poor. What a better way to do it was to start a business so we can give 10% of the gross profits straight into taking care of the poor. The rest goes to the IRS and, of course, the team that works every single day diligently to keep that business moving forward and in business. So there you have it. You could start a business for that reason, to give. So what's the hardest part that you face and challenge in your business or in starting a business? Or if you want to share the benefits of being an entrepreneur, we'd love to hear from you. 844-200-3264. Again, that's 844-200-3264. We got Jeanette from Reno, Nevada. Jeanette, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, Dani. How are you?
Good.
Good. So first I have to say thank you for not quitting because you have helped our family tremendously. So I want to say thank you for that.
Thank you.
And, we have several small businesses, and we would do it all over again, considering the hardships and the challenges. Being our own boss and having our own business has been absolutely amazing, and I'm very grateful and thankful for that. But we do have one business that has kind of fallen by the wayside that I would like to get back into. And I think what happened was that our trust was kind of violated with the business, and I guess I got knocked off of a pony.
Yeah.
And it's like trying to climb a Clydesdale on steroids, trying to get back up on there, back into that business.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling, really, really struggling to find where to go.
Yeah.
With that.
Oh, Jeanette, gosh, I know. You gave the perfect picture. I fell off a pony, now it's a Clydesdale. How do I get back on? I totally understand. I had that same thing happen as an early budding entrepreneur when I was 19. And the individual that I was learning from ended up embezzling my business. He stole it from me. And I remember wishing I had never made money. Trust absolutely was violated, but what happened was I gave up. I just threw in the towel and I said it was never meant to be. I'm not cut out for it. You can't trust anybody. That man was just like my father, which was just like my high school sweetheart, was just like those people at church. You know, I had this long list of villains in my life, especially men at that time in my life. And I allowed that business failure to hurt me so deeply that I gave up. And I ended up homeless as a direct result of it. And here's the fact about business. There's good times and there's bad. Here's the fact about marriage. There's good times and there's bad. Here's the fact about parenting.
Yeah, that's true.
There's good times and there's bad. Here's the fact about our health. There's good times and there's bad. It's a fact of life.
That's true.
It's not the business. It's what we do with the pain. It's what we do moving forward. So either, Jeanette, you can allow yourself to stay embittered, and it will age you, honey. It will put 5 more crow's feet on your eyes. It's going to add 17 more wrinkles on your forehead.
It has.
I know.
It has. You are.
I know. It's turning your smile into a frown, and honey, you don't want those lines. Come on now, you don't want those. So you gotta just make the decision to forgive and break any judgments in which you have made against the one who violated the trust. And you have to be willing to mature and say, oh, well, that was a bad deal. It's okay. I'm getting on this Clydesdale and I'm going to ride this sucker hard. I'm going to make him sweat.
Okay.
That's your choice. That's your choice. So you can't allow trust that was violated. Yeah, exactly. Be a big girl. Put your big girl chonies on, and it's time to grow up, and it's time to forgive. It's time to learn, and it's time to move on. So great question, because it's a lot of people. It really is. It's a lot of people who, got burned in one business, and then they throw in the towel and they say, forget it. No, man. There's good times and bad times with everything. And by the way, there's never a waste in business. There isn't. And somebody cold clocked me with my own philosophy this morning on that. You're never wasting time in business. You're never wasting time in life, because we're all on a journey and there's lessons to be learned. And as long as you learn something from that business failure, it is not a loss. It was a gain. You didn't have to go to college and read it in books. You got to experience it yourself. And I promise you, most of what we learn in books, we forget. But that which we experience, especially in our bank account, we learned that lesson, and we're quite possibly not going to repeat the same stupid mistake again. So nothing's lost, only gained in business. All right, we got Hillary from San Diego. Hillary, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, Dani. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I have a question. I'm starting out my own business, and the hardest part that I have right now is finding time to start it up because I have 2 kids under 2 years old. It's crazy right now.
Okay, Hillary, 2 kids under 2 years old. Congratulations, Mommy. I'm happy for you. Are you working a full-time job along with the 2 kids?
No, I'm a stay-at-home mom.
You're a stay-at-home mom. Okay. Honey, I built companies my entire child-rearing life. Nursing through the night. Pregnant. Hello? I had 5 kids, child. 5. I was my own cook, my own laundry person. I did all my own errands. I worked 20 hours a week and made a fortune. If you're not finding the time, it's because you're not serious about business. So, like with any business, it requires commitment. It requires taking ownership. It requires hours. It requires skill set. And you must make a decision as to what those business hours are if you are going to succeed. If you are not going to make the commitment, don't even think about getting started right now. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Don't just stand there. Soak this up. It's joy, it's encouragement, it's insight to a better life and how to meet your obligations and overcome obstacles. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Radio talk show host Dani Johnson in Kadwa, Haiti.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson, and I'm here with Vida in her tiny little home. This home is the size of many people's closets in the United States of America. Now, we're sitting on a bed, just a piece of sheet or plastic that these beautiful babies sleep on. They have nothing. This family has nothing. No water, no food, nothing. Won't you do something? The Bible says that if you ignore the cry of the poor, then you too will cry and be ignored. They're not asking for nice clothes. They're asking for food. That's it. Food, water. You can help. We want to build her a home. We want to bring water, clean, fresh water here. But we can't do it alone. We need you.
Help us radically change a community. Go to kingsransom.org to make your donation to Kadwa, Haiti. That's kingsransom.org.
Is God calling you to the entertainment industry? Do you want to rise for Him? Do you want to be an actor, model, singer, or dancer and shine for God? Do you think the world needs better role models? Do you want to be a star for the Most High God? Actors, models, and talent for Christ is coming to a city near you. A new generation of Christian performers is rising. Call 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. God gave you talent for a reason, and that is to shine for Him. So we are searching for actors, models, singers, and dancers. Go to amtcaudition.com to find out when and where the next free audition will be held. Entertainment is the best opportunity for Christians to change the world, and the time is now. Are you ready for that call? 800-STAR-420 or go to amtcaudition.com. That's actors, models, and talent for Christ. Register for your audition today.
We're back. Here's Dani Johnson.
You know, we can all come up with excuses as to why we would like to do something but won't do it. Oh, I got lots of kids and I've got lots of responsibilities. If you're already whining about that, don't even get started. Don't even waste your time. People who are going to succeed in business are making a commitment. They're going to work out the hours. They're going to work the thing out so that they will succeed. Now, listen, I'm not a big promoter of sacrifice your kids to build a business. I don't think that's wise at all. I was my children's mother. I was, and that was after I was an idiot and I was working 100 hours a week. When 2 of my kids were small. I had a big old wake-up call with a nervous breakdown and a heart attack at 24 and 25, and I changed my lifestyle. and decided that I was going to work around my kids' sleep schedule, and I was going to build business that was conducive to the family. Family first, then business. And I got to tell you, it worked. It worked well, to the tune of millions and millions of dollars that we've made in business on a part-time basis. All right, we're taking your call about business, challenges you have, or things that you want to say that are positive about business, because we're trying to encourage the American people to be in business. Cynthia from Orlando, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dani. Thank you for taking my call.
Cool. What's your question or comment?
My challenge, when it doesn't have to do with sales, I can be, I can talk to everybody I meet. Just, talking to strangers comes easy for me. It's just part of just how I get by every day. But when it comes time to actually getting on the phone or talking to someone or marketing, I feel like I become this robotic person, and the way I sound I sound very nervous. And
why? Why would you want to be that? You stop doing that. Stop sounding robotic. Be yourself. That's the only way you're going to succeed in business, is by being yourself. So if you naturally talk to people wherever you go, don't turn into a different person when you pick up the phone. It's not going to make you any money. So just be yourself. Yourself is good enough to build a business. All right, we've got Sam from Michigan. Sam, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, Mrs. Johnson. Thanks for having me on the show. I just wanted to share that, I've had some setbacks myself in business the past couple months, but I just wanted to share that no matter what happens, it's still worth it to keep going on, because I had a really bad accident with my back falling down some steps about a month ago, and it kind of knocked me off my horse, and I just kind of felt like nothing would ever go right in my business or relationships or anything, because when you're sitting in a hospital bed, it's kind of like your life is at a standstill, and it kind of made me realize how out of control I really am of what happens. Just wanted to thank God for taking care of me through that, and knowing that He's in control of my life. And as long as I'm still willing to do it, I know that He's still willing to use it.
That's
so
right. That's
thanks for
right.
having me on the show.
Man, thanks so much for sharing. I'm so sorry about your back. But, and this is interesting. People have such a hard time when they get put on the shelf. And it's so interesting. I've been put on the shelf before. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but you were put on the shelf. You were taken out of the market, and you were put on a shelf for a month with your back recovering. And it's really interesting how the decisions we can make, like, oh no, it's over now. Oh no, everything's gonna fail. Everything's gonna be no, man. The point of the shelf is reflect, trust, live by faith. Slow down, dude. Slow down. No need to kill yourself trying to become successful. But this is a time of good reflection. I've been on the shelf many times, and those shelf times have been really, really helpful and really good. It's a shift of perspective, looking at your full life. And just as you said, man, I was out of control. I'm excited for you. You go build that business with a new, refreshed place of faith and some new wisdom and maturity, and that life is quite short, and respect your body, right? That's kind of important. All right, we got Spencer from Fort Worth, Texas. Spencer, welcome to the show.
Howdy, Dani. How are you?
Very good.
Yes. My question is first of all, I've just gotten a full-time job. I'm just about ready to start with that. But on the other hand, I'm also wanting to do being an entrepreneur on the side as well. Number one, I'm just not so sure. I do want to be an entrepreneur. I'm not so sure if I'm going to have enough time during the week to work on being an entrepreneur in this business I want to get involved with.
Okay. Well, Spencer, that's a really good point. And I think it's important to really assess your time and the commitment that you want to make. If you're married and you have kids, that's an important conversation to sit down with the wife and kids and say, hey, I know I've got a full-time job, but I'd really like to build and learn how to become an entrepreneur on the side. What kind of hours would you be willing to allow me to work in that business that I'd like to do? That's an important question to have with the whole family. If you're single, you got all the time in the world to do whatever the heck you want, buddy. There ain't no excuse. There's plenty of time. I've got clients that build a business on the side 2-3 hours, 3 days a week, and they're making a fortune. So there's no excuse. If you're single, you ain't got nothing holding you back, buddy. You got at least one day of a weekend. You got the evenings, or depending on what your shift looks like, you might have the mornings. It's about make a commitment and stick to that commitment. That's what it's about. All right, last caller that we have time for, Erica from Florida. Welcome to the show.
Yes, hi, Dani. How you doing?
Great. What can we do for you?
Well, I have a very big challenge right now. The biggest thing is I'm a people person, have no problems with talking to people anywhere I go. But the biggest fear I have is picking up that phone. I stare at it, I talk to myself, and I can't pick up the phone. How do I get through this?
I want you to hear what you're saying. You're afraid of You're afraid of a phone. What are you using right now to talk to me?
I know.
Wait, don't give me an excuse. What? Oh, no way. I think you're lying to yourself. You are not afraid to pick up the phone. That's a bunch of baloney. Now quit your lying and build your dream. Be done with it. Get it on with it. It's ridiculous. You're not afraid of a stupid phone. You're using it right now. You use it all day. You even take it to the bathroom with you, honey. Come on now. Give me a break. Now get busy. This is Dani Johnson. Isn't it amazing the kind of obstacles that we create all by ourselves in between our ears and our eyeballs? It's kind of silly, isn't it? Listen, if you need to make money and you can't find a job, you might want to start a business. Hello, I got 8- and 9-year-old kids starting businesses and making money. I got a 12-year-old who started a jewelry business and made $20,000 her first year. Give me a break, okay? There ain't no excuse. There's no excuse. If this broke homeless cocktail waitress who was not educated can make $1 million, then come on now. You can do it. This is Dani Johnson. We'll talk to you tomorrow with another intriguing topic that's going to make you make a difference in your life and the lives of others. God bless. Have a great day.
You've been listening to The Dani Johnson Show. It's our belief that you can live a better, healthier, happier life. All you need is a little encouragement. Get that and more on the next Dani Johnson Show.
Okay, if you know me at all, I don't want you spending a penny more than you have to on anything. This is one of those things. If you're a business owner and take credit cards, you're paying too much unless you're working with my friend Kevin at Prestige Merchant Solutions. He's so confident that if he can't save you money, he'll pay you $100. Listen, if you're accepting payment by credit cards, check it out. 850-200-0709. That's 850-200-0709. Kevin guarantees 5-star service. He guarantees he'll save you money and he'll pay you $100 if he can't. No risk, right? So what are you waiting for? Call today. It's quick to change your current service, incredibly reliable, 24/7 support, and payments are processed quickly. Tell him Dani sent you. There's nothing to lose. Call 850-200-0709. 850-200-0709. Stop overpaying today. You tell yourself that life isn't that bad. You relish the small pleasures. Drive-through coffee, big screen TV, vacations bought on credit cards. But that's as good as life gets unless you take a leap of faith. This is millionaire author, radio and television show host Dani Johnson, inviting you to join me for 2 days where you will acquire the skills to make the life you crave a reality. Call now 844-200-DANI or visit firststepstosuccess.com.